happy day to you. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel. My name is Felicia and I also go by CreativiTeeByT, and if you are new to watching, I welcome you and I hope you consider subscribing, and thank you to all of my returning subscribers for coming back and for your support. So today's video is a special collaboration with Rochelle of rochelle.handmade.designs, and Rochelle has been hosting a challenge here on YouTube and on Instagram, and it's titled So Much Colors 90s Edition. With this challenge, Rochelle is collaborating with a bunch of different sewists each week, and she has assigned a color for each one of us sewists that are collaborating with her to sew up, and we are supposed to make a 90s inspired garment. Okay, the color that I was assigned to is the color yellow, and I will be sharing that make with you today, along with the reasons why I was inspired to make this garment. So if you are interested in hearing all about my So Much Colors yellow garment 90s edition, please continue to watch. Okay, so with my color being yellow and needing to make something that was inspired by the 90s fashion, I decided to go with overalls. In the 90s, the majority of my most memorable times were my high school years, and I watched a lot of TV back then, and I also listened to a lot of music, and the actors and artists that I watched and listened to were my inspiration for fashion. Some of the TV influencers and or shows that I watched were Full House, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Saved by the Bell, Family Matters, and my all-time favorite was A Different World. The musical artists that I listened to were Will Smith, who was also the star of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the groups NSYNC, Destiny's Child, but my all-time favorite music group was TLC. Okay, TLC always had such good fashion to me at that time. They wore a lot of baggy clothing, and I was into baggy clothing at that time. So when they started wearing oversized overalls, I loved them even more, and I wanted to wear them every single day. The common fashion garment that all of these artists wore a lot in the 1990s, which is why I like them so much back in the day, were overalls. I made McCall's 7831 because when I think of the 90s and all of the famous people who inspired me, I think of how many of them were in overalls. And if you notice, each photo that I presented to you, someone was wearing overalls, because that's how common it was and that's how noticeable it was for me back in the day. So now that I have given you the backstory of this series and why I went with this particular garment and I shared my color, let's get into the conversation about the pattern and my experience while making it. So the pattern that I used was McCall's 7831, and the pattern description is Mrs. Jumpers. All of the jumpers have adjustable straps which fasten with purchase buckles. Views B, C, and D all have pockets. View A does not have a pocket at all. There are 3 views to this pattern. The differences are the skirt styles and the option of having side patch pockets. I made view D because view D has more of a flared skirt and the other views are boxy, and I wanted a flare. So the pattern recommendations are going to be your corduroy, denim, cotton blends, and velveteen. The sewing skill level is set as easy, and it's actually part of the Learn to Sew pattern collection with McCall's. For the pattern pieces, I used 8 pattern pieces to make this jumper. The pattern pieces that I used were the bodice front, the bodice back, the front pocket, the front facing, the back facing, the straps, the skirt front, and the skirt back. The notions that you need is going to be your thread and 2 overall buckles with no sew buttons to fit 1 1/4 inch straps. The pattern sizing comes in size 4 to 20. The size that I cut was a 20, and I feel that it is a nice fit for this type of garment. I actually took a stab at it because I have not sewn overalls before, and I basically just went off of my hip measurement and allowed for extra room, and it all worked out. I do think it looks like the pattern cover. And yes, the instructions were super duper easy to follow, very simple, and it does, in my opinion, qualify for the Learn to Sew. What I particularly liked about the pattern, I love how cute and flirty this pattern is. I mean, like, I feel like I even look younger. So, and when I pull my hair back, a lot of times I do, depending on what the hairstyle is, but yeah, I just think it's cute, it's flirty. I love how easy it is to sew. I love how straightforward this pattern is to sew up. I love the pocket options, and I love the top stitching detail. What I particularly disliked about the pattern, nothing at all. Loved it all. So as far as techniques, I have used all the sewing type of techniques that I use to make this pattern, but as far as the first time experience, yes, this was the first time that I have ever made overalls, and it won't be the last. This is also the first time that I've done this much top stitching on one garment. I top stitched on both sides of the seams, on the front center and the back center. So, and then I also top stitched on the straps, and you know, I've done top stitching before, but not so much on one garment. And this is also the first time that I installed overall buckles. Now, I have used techniques like this before when using cam snaps and things like that, but I have not sewn overall buckles on anything like that. It was super duper easy. You just need to make sure you have a hammer. So for the fabric, I use this beautiful, nice and bright yellow cotton twill, and I purchased this from fabric.com. And the buckles, I did purchase those buckles from Joann Fabrics. Actually, I went to Hobby Lobby initially to pick them up because Hobby Lobby sometimes always has those like 30, 40, 50% off sale off notions like every other week. They didn't have them on sale, so because I know I get a coupon in my app for Joann Fabrics every week, I just walked on down there because they're in the same like shopping center. So when I went to Joann's that day, they actually had a coupon in the app for $5 off a purchase of $5 or more. The buckles were only like $5 and some change, so once I applied the coupon, I only paid 50 cents for my buckles. Okay, I got that for the low. So make sure you're paying attention to your coupons in the app if you haven't. As far as alterations or changes are concerned, I made no type of modifications whatsoever, and I don't have any recommendations as far as changes are concerned, but I will definitely recommend this pattern. I think it's so fun, cute, and flirty, and even though this was very popular back in the 90s, I feel that it is very suitable for even today's time in 2022 and moving forward. Of course, you may style it a little differently, but it's still suitable for now. And it was great back then as well. So yes, definitely recommend this pattern. This pattern came out in 2020, and it is still available on the Something Delightful website, and you can also purchase this in your local Joann stores. So as far as my pairings, I paired my dress with, let's start with my shoes, these yellow Converse. Oh, listen, I never had a reason to buy yellow Converse and green. Those are two of my favorite colors, so I always wanted a yellow pair. So this was an excuse for me to go out and buy some yellow Converse. So I purchased these yellow Converse from Journeys, and that's in my local mall here. But yes, Journeys is a store that is very well known around the United States. And for my top, I had a black and white striped knit top, and I couldn't find it. But I just knew that it would go perfect with this. So I did break down, you know, after searching for my black and white top. After not finding it, I did purchase this from Amazon, and I like it because the stripes are a little bit thicker. So no, I did not make this because I didn't think I would be able to find any fabric that quick and be able to sew it up in time. So yes, the t-shirt is Amazon fashion, and that is my pairings. For my earrings, I wore my hoops because back in the day I wore jumbo hoops every single day. during my high school years, and I was gonna go as far as wearing rings on every finger, because back in my high school days I wore silver rings because that's what I could afford back then on every single finger, because I like to bling, and nothing has changed except for, well, I wear white gold now and my husband buys my jewelry. So yes, those are my pairings. And so now I will enter a few more pictures and twirls of me in my So Much Colors 90s edition overall outfit. So yes, I hope you enjoyed a little flashback into the 1990s fashion. This definitely took me back into my childhood years, but you better believe that I am still going to wear this even in this year 2022 and beyond, because I still feel like this is relevant. I would definitely make this pattern again, obviously, and although I preferred like the flared skirt that I made, I think I'm going to try the boxy view with like some striped fabric or some corduroy, just to see how it looks, because you know, I still think it'd be a win-win. Like I said, I wore these overalls back in the day, but even looking at some of my baby pictures and some of my pictures when I was in middle school, like 7th grade, and even in elementary, I was wearing overalls. So my mother was dressing us in overalls for, I mean, probably all throughout our childhood, and I liked them then. And I still like them now. I just didn't remember how much I liked them until I made this and I start prancing around, and my husband liked them too. So yes, this is such a simple make, and I am so happy that I made it. Well, all right, please let me know what your thoughts are about this pattern and my overalls in the comment section below. I would love to hear your thoughts, and please let me know if you used to watch any of these TV shows mentioned, or if you listen to any of the artists that I mentioned, and if not, who did you listen to and what did you watch during the 1990s? Make sure once you finish this video that you stop over to Rochelle's channel to check out what she made in her yellow themed 1990s fashion look, and let her know what you think about that as well. Well, that is it for this video. Before you leave, please take a pause for the cause and click the like button and the subscribe button and the gray notification bell so that you can be notified of future videos. And like I said, please don't forget to go to Rochelle's channel to check out her yellow make. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all of my new and returning subscribers for your support, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Oh.